Ha ha! It's me, baby, the Million Mile Man. Let's talk about it. Let's get these bags. Let's get it.
Oh, shawty, them numbers ain't right. Them can't be right.
Why they ain't right, little man? They are right. 100% right.
No competition, shawty. No competition at all.
Ha! It's the Million Mile Man. What's up, guys? Let's talk about what you saw at the beginning of this video. I was at Stevens for 10 years. Okay? Now, I've been in the leasing game. I bought a truck from them. And I kind of understand the numbers. I know that a lot of guys have talked about numbers and showed you guys how to work these numbers out. But this is Stevens versus Prime, or shall we say Prime versus Stevens. However you want to say it, okay? At Stevens, you are not going to bring home as an owner-operator or an alliance driver, because there's no difference between the two as far as pay. Matter of fact, the owner-operators lose some of the things that the alliance drivers, which are the lease drivers at Stevens, makes, or what they get out of the situation. As long as I was there, okay, 10 plus years, the disparity between the two pays are tremendous. Now, any lease driver at Stevens, if they know how to do the numbers, you're not going to do more than 42 to 48, maybe 50 cents per mile after everything is paid. Okay? After all your bills are paid, we're not going to talk about, say, oh, I got a bonus for recommending someone to go alliance. Okay? So that pay doesn't count. We're talking about mileage pay. Okay? Versus percentage pay. Okay? You saw the numbers at the beginning of this video. This week is coming up, and I did 21,000 miles. Excuse me, 2,100 miles. And the gross revenue to the truck for 2,100 miles was $4,108. Now, any alliance driver at Stevens knows full well for 2,100 miles, you're not going to see that kind of revenue. Okay? After all was said and done, you're talking about $1.68 after all my bills were paid here at Prime. Now do the math. 42 cents to 50 cents at the most. Now at 10% in fuel, Now, if you're 14 or higher, your cent per mile is going to go down. Okay? Now, the CPM, meaning cent per mile that I paid for fuel, was 4%. Okay? 4%. Now, as we look at this situation, anybody that is at Stevens knows full well they're not going to get $1.68 per mile. Now, what's funny is it's going to be different from week to week. It's going to go up, but I don't think it's going to go too far down. Okay? It's like the weeks that a lease driver over there is doing 1,900 miles. How are you supposed to pay your bills? Because your gross revenue is not going to be high enough. So I was there and I made a $2 check. Okay? Now, anybody that's leasing over there, you know, some of you are doing well, but not like here at Prime. Okay? Now, if you want to make a difference in your financial situation, in your family's financial situation, you making enough money to be able to take time off. Here at Prime, if you want to take 30 days off, it's none of that, oh, we got to come back and do rehire, go back through orientation if you've been out 30 days. You can stay out 30 days here at Prime. If you can afford it. Now, I don't suggest doing it if you know that you can't afford it. But the revenue is there for you to afford it. Okay? Now, I have been in some bad situations and they let me borrow money. Okay? And had I been making the revenue that I'm making here now at Prime, none of that would have been necessary. Okay? I bought the truck straight out the gate. First load away from the yard before I get to Waxahachie. Okay? All the check engine lights came on. Okay? Every last one of them. Did they say they fixed it? Yes. This went on from November when I got the truck into August of the next year. Okay? Being in the shop every other week or every 2 weeks, but it was something going wrong all of the time from November to August of the next year. So, in those cases, how am I not going to need money? Because I'm not getting breakdown pay anymore. Because the owner-operator at Stevens doesn't get breakdown pay anymore. But they make the same as a Alliance driver. So how is there no disparity in pay when you leave from company to Alliance? There's a difference in pay. But when you go from Alliance to buying a truck, you make the same amount of money per mile. Now, I'm going to say it one more time. Now, I made a boo-boo and I said 21,000, but it was 2,100. Gross revenue to the truck here at Prime Inc. was $4,100. The last paycheck came out to be $1.68 per mile. Now, we're working off percentage, but I broke it down to the mileage. Okay? $1.68. Now, you do the 42 to 50 cents that you're going to get at Stevens to $1.68. That's the difference in what you can do here at Prime. Right? Then you don't have to have your hand out asking any of them for anything. Okay? That's the key. It's starting somewhere and building from there. I gave up 10 plus years over there. And at the end, I had worn my welcome out. But I stuck with that truck because I felt like that because I was patient with them in the beginning. If you go to a used car lot and you drive off that lot, right, and that car, all the check engine lights come on, you want your money back, right? But I stuck with where my heart was, okay? And I gave them chance after chance to get it right. Then when I needed them to do something for me to get my truck back on the road, after I had been out 6 months, they didn't want to do nothing for me. But do the math. 1 million plus miles by the 92 or 93 cents a mile I was making at Stevens. Right? 1 million plus at 93 cents a mile. Tell me how much money I made them for them to turn their back after I dealt with a truck that was a lemon, and because I felt like now it's my stupidity. That's why you hear me calling myself Boo Boo the Fool. Because at that point I should have cut my losses before I had them. But if you can come here to Prime, that's your best bet. Okay? Anybody that wants to come and train at a good company, and I'm not telling you what I don't know, because I trained for the majority of the time I was there. I went down there and watched how they were interacting with the students, right? They have plenty of room for you to learn anything you want to learn. And bar none, they're going to pay you more than any of these companies telling you, guess what? Come see us. No, come to Prime Inc. Okay? Start your career at the right place, so you don't end up like me, almost starting over after all of these years because I let my heart be my guide. Not mathematics. My heart. And that was my downfall. Because if I would have started here at Prime, there would be a different situation for me altogether. Altogether. So before you end up running down a path that is not the right path, take it from me, the Million Mile Man, that Prime Inc. is number one. And I'm getting ready to go, and I'm going to start out and end out just like I did from the beginning. Peace and tranquility. The Million Man Mind is out. Peace.
FlawlessTracks.net